algebra, we are writing function rules and it's from words. So a lot of people who aren't as good as writing sentences might struggle with this section, but you really just need to read what they're saying and make sure you know the key terms, like the word is means equals, product is multiply, so quotient is divide, things like that. So let's jump right in. A says 5 is. Says y is means equals. So we're going to put y equals because it says y is. 5 less than something. So we don't know what the something is, but we know it's going to be 5 less than that. So I'm going to leave a little space and I'm going to do minus 5 because I know that it's 5 less than something. So keep reading to see what that something is. The product of 4 and x. Product means multiply. So I'm going to squish these together to represent multiply, and it should be 4x. So y is 5 less than the product of 4 and x. Okay, let's try B. C is, which means C equals 8 more than something. So I don't know what something is, but I'm going to put plus 8 because I know it's 8 more than whatever we're talking about. So read on to see what we're talking about. Half of n. Half. The word of in math means times, multiply. Half of n means half times n. So I'm going to squish them together and just have it be half n because that means multiply. So C is 8 more than half of whatever n is. Okay, letter C. 7 less. I don't know what we're less than, but it's 7 less than something than 3/5 of B. 3/5 of means multiply, so I'm going to squish it together with B. So 7 less than 3/5 of B is A. So that is A. It equals A. All right, and then the last one of these, 2.5 more. So I don't know what it's more than, so I'm going to start with just plus 2.5. It's more than the quotient, which means divide. What are we dividing? H and 3. So we're dividing H and 3. And again, in algebra, you should be starting to write your division problems as fractions, but if you wanted to write the little division sign, that should be the same thing. So is W. Is means equals W. So 2.5 more than the quotient of H and 3 is W. All right, let's write some situations that are more than just words, that are actual situations. A worker's earnings, and they want you to use E to represent earnings. That's why it's in kind of italics. A worker's earnings, E, are a function of the number of hours in, so we're going to use in representing the number of hours worked at a rate of $8.75 per hour. So we don't know what the total earnings are, so we're going to put E equals, but we do know how to find it. It's going to be $8.75 per hour, and they want us to represent hours with N. So it's going to be $8.75 times N. So basically, the earnings that they have are equal to $8.75 per number of hours. All right, B, the price, which they want you to use P for price, of pizza is $6.95. So we don't know the price. Let's start with that. Price equals $6.95 plus 95 cents for each topping they want you to make a T. So 95 cents per T topping. So we don't know the total price of pizza, but we know we're going to pay $6.95 plus 95 cents per T topping. All right, last one of these, the almond extract, which they want you to use A. The almond extract A remaining in an 8-ounce bottle. So A is the amount we have remaining. Started with an 8-ounce bottle. Decreases, that means subtract. How much does it decrease? 1/6 of an ounce for each batch. They want you to use B for batch. So it decreases by 1/6 per B batch of waffle cookies made. So the almond extract remaining started at 8. It's decreased by 1/6 per batch. All right, and then the last one is, I think it's the last one, yeah. Make a table and a graph for the ordered pairs. So it gave us a lot of ordered pairs. So this is going to be a long table. All right. First, I know it says then write a function rule, blah, blah, blah. Let's first just write all these down in a table. -4, 7 is -4 is our x, 7 is our y. -3, 6. -2, 5. -1, 4. 0, 3. 1, 2. 2, 1. Man, these go on and on forever. 3, 0. And then 4, -1. Okay. Then it says graph it now. Okay, so here we go. -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it goes off the graph a little bit. Sorry about that. You can just leave that one off if you want. -3, 6 also is going to go off the graph just a tiny bit. That's okay. I think all the rest fit on here. -2, 5 would be here. Yes. -1 up 4. 0, 3. 1, 2. 2, 1. 3, 0. 4, -1. Okay. So here's our function. Now that we have written a table out, we've written a graph out, then it says write a function rule. So if you guys watched one of the previous videos, we talked about how I personally think the easiest way to write a rule is to see what the y's are changing by over what the x's are changing by. You might see it. You might go, well, I know 0, 3, so that means we're adding 3. But that doesn't work here. That doesn't work here. That doesn't work here. So it's going to be just more than that. So here's how I personally would start. I would start to see, oops, I almost put +1. I would start to see what your y's are doing. They are subtracting 1 every single time. And I'd put that on top of a fraction because we're going to divide by what the x's are doing. What are the x's changing by each time? It looks like they are going up 1 each time. So -1 divided by 1 is just -1. So I'm going to simplify this and I'm just going to call it -1. So y equals -1x, and then it's going to be plus or minus something. We don't know what else exactly is going on here. So if we took each x value and multiplied by -1, so we took 4 and multiplied by -1, it would be -4. How do we get from -4 to -1? It seems like you then add 3. Let's leave that there and see if that works for all of them. -1 times 3 is -3. Plus +3 would be 0. So that's working. Let's try 2. 2 times -1 is -2. Plus 3 is 1. So this is working. And I don't know if you guys remember this from the other video, but I also gave you a hint that when, did I put this one backwards? Oh, this one, sorry. Ignore that one. When x is 0, whatever y is your what you add or subtract. So the function rule is y equals -1x plus 3. And again, how that's an easy thing to find is see what the y's are doing over what the x's are doing, and that's the number that you're multiplying by. And then to find out what you add or subtract, go to when x is 0. And whatever that number is how many you either add if it's positive or subtract if it's negative. So we knew it's to add it. But always go back and check. Plug in your x's and see if that actually equals the y's. See if that works every time. In this case it does, so it is correct.